In one of the sharpest warnings against US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, a former commander of Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guards has said the death of the late supreme leader will be avenged by action against them. Former IRGC commander Mohsen Rezai has declared that Iran's response to the killing of former supreme leader will not end with military deterrence. Speaking in a televised interview, Rezai drew a distinction between what he described as strategic revenge and individual retribution. According to Rezai, Iran's strategic objective is the expulsion of the United States from the West Asia region, arguing that only then can the region achieve lasting independence. He said, "The strategic retribution must certainly be achieved so that the path to our progress remains open." But Rezai also said those he holds personally responsible for Khamenei's death must face consequences. Without elaborating how, he declared, "The two individuals responsible for the assassination of the martyred leader must not escape retribution." He specifically named US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Rezai also described the massive funeral ceremonies held across Iran as proof that Khamenei's influence had grown beyond his lifetime. He argued that millions of mourners demonstrated the failure of what he called enemy efforts to weaken public support for the Islamic Republic. According to him, Khamenei's ideology has now become deeply rooted in Iranian society, strengthening national unity despite the recent conflict. Rezai also highlighted the funeral ceremonies in the Iraqi holy cities of Najaf and Karbala, saying they would symbolize the close relationship between Iran and Iraq. He claimed Iraqis would welcome the late leader because of Iran's role in helping stop the advance of Daesh, also known as ISIS, after the group's offensive in 2014. The former IRGC commander went beyond the funeral itself, outlining what he described as Iran's long-term regional objective. He argued that stronger cooperation between Iran and Iraq could eventually help free West Asia from the influence of both the United States and Israel. His remarks reflect a long-standing position within Iran's political and military establishment that reducing American military presence in the region remains a strategic priority. While negotiations continue over implementing the recent Memorandum of Understanding, senior Iranian officials have repeatedly insisted that political dialogue will not alter what they describe as Iran's right to seek justice for Khamenei's killing.
The man who ruled Iran for decades is making his final journey. Millions of mourners are pouring into the streets in one of the largest funeral processions Iran and the world have ever witnessed. On Tuesday, the holy city of Qum was overwhelmed by waves of mourners as hundreds of thousands of people gathered to bid farewell to Iran's late supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Aerial footage showed crowds of people marching in Qum, waving flags and carrying posters with images of the slain leader and waving the Iranian flag. Khamenei was killed in a joint US-Israeli attack on Iran on Feb 28th, triggering weeks of war and escalating tensions across the region. Iran's official news agency, IRNA, said the crowds extended for 7 kilometers. Funeral prayers were also held at the holy Jamkaran Mosque. The bodies are due to be transferred next to Iraq, with ceremonies scheduled in Najaf and Karbala before Khamenei is buried on Thursday in Mashhad in northeastern Iran. Iranian state television also aired live images of tens of thousands of people walking toward Jamkaran Mosque just south of Qum for a funeral service for Khamenei. The mosque is believed by Shiites to have once hosted the Muhammad al-Mahdi, the 12th and last Shiite imam, who disappeared in the 9th century and will one day reappear to bring justice to the world. Iranian mourners carried banners threatening U.S. President Donald Trump during the funeral procession. The larger crowds waved Iranian flags and red banners which read, "Kill Trump," as tens of thousands of people gathered.
Iranian mourners in Tehran hurled stones at an image of U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday during a memorial procession for the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Footage shows crowd pelting a billboard suspended from a bridge. Others carried Iranian flags, red revenge banners, and signs reading, "Kill Trump, $100 million Iranian bounty," while chanting, "Haider, Haider." The chant invokes Haider, a name meaning lion and commonly associated in Shia tradition with Imam Ali. The procession was part of farewell ceremonies that began on Saturday and are scheduled to continue across Iran and Iraq until July 9th. The ceremonies are due to move to Qom on July 7th before concluding in Mashhad, where Khamenei's body is expected to be buried at the Imam Reza Shrine on July 9th. Iran says official delegations and religious figures from more than 90 countries are attending the ceremonies. Authorities have made major preparations for the crowds, turning mosques, parks, and stadiums into temporary accommodation sites and setting up camps for mourners. The United States and Israel launched a joint military operation against Iran on February 28th that led to the killing of Khamenei. Tehran later confirmed Khamenei's death, and his son Mojtaba was named as his successor.